So it is clear Bernie Sanders' 2020 campaign launch sent shockwaves all throughout the American political establishment. And everyone is feeling the burn after they noticed that he was able to raise an astonishing $6 million in small donations averaging $27 each, all within the first 24 hours. And not only does he have just the political class terrified, but he even has Donald Trump shaking in his boots, who proceeded to send out this fundraising email begging for money once he saw how much Bernie Sanders managed to raise within the first day of his campaign launch. So he's terrified, and he should be, because Bernie Sanders is now stronger than ever, and his base is more fired up than ever. So to say that Bernie Sanders' campaign launch was a success, I think that would be an understatement, because it was more than a success. It surprised even me, who was expecting it to be huge. Now, in addition to him having a really successful rollout, we're also beginning to see Bernie's team take shape, and we learned the first day that ACLU political director Faiz Shakir would be joining the team as Bernie Sanders' campaign manager, but we're also learning that Bernie Sanders' national campaign co-chairs will include a team of progressive all-stars such as Nina Turner, Ro Khanna, Carmen Yulín Cruz, who, if you'll all recall, is the mayor of San Juan, Puerto Rico, and she's not just one of the strongest voices for Puerto Rico, but she has not been afraid to stand up to Donald Trump's bullying. So let's all just take a moment to kind of step back and reflect on what all has transpired since Bernie Sanders decided to announce that he's running for president. First of all, we have confirmation that his base is unquestionably with him. And this news comes after we were told in December of last year that Bernie Sanders has lost his 2016 mojo. Turns out that's not the case. We're also learning about Team Bernie 2020, and it's better than I could have expected. He also has since received the endorsement from Danny freaking DeVito. And when it comes to how he's doing in the first straw poll since he decided to announce, well, I'm just going to let Chuck Todd of MSNBC's Meet the Press explain to you just how well Bernie Sanders is doing.
You saw Kamala got a bump, Warren got a bump, but my word, Sanders jumped to 44. It's the highest number he had as they've been testing this so far. And I guess it's just a reminder of how big his base is and how big his potential is on the progressive front. I mean, Elizabeth Warren still has her work cut out if she's going to grab the Sanders supporter.
That was absolutely amazing. So make no mistake about it, America is feeling the burn, and the political establishment is starting to take notice. So let's be clear, Bernie Sanders is the front runner this time. And I really don't think it's too early for us to start speculating about who he'd select as his potential running mate. And we don't really have to speculate because he described his ideal running mate in an interview with Cenk Uygur of TYT.
I think we would look for somebody who is maybe not of the same gender that I am, and maybe somebody who might be a couple of years younger than me, and somebody who can take the progressive banner as vice president and carry it all over this country to help us with our agenda and help us to rally the American people.
I don't know about you guys, but to me, it kind of sounded like he was describing either Tulsi Gabbard or Nina Turner. And either one of those ladies would be amazing. That would be a phenomenal ticket. It'd be the dream team right there. Now, I don't necessarily know that Nina Turner wants that job, but either way, if Tulsi goes on to secure the Democratic Party nomination, I think she'd probably select someone like Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren. So either way, we may see a Sanders-Gabbard ticket, which would be great because it just rolls off the tongue. But, my ideal dream team would be Bernie and Nina Turner. And, we'll see. Either way, I like what Bernie Sanders is thinking about because he's describing people who we already can point to with the progressive acolytes. I'm excited. That's all I'll say. Because let me just say this. Even if it's going to be the case that we all are going to have to work very hard in spite of this momentum, we're going to have to not just observe, but organize, put in the time and effort to actually get him elected, go beyond just caucusing and voting for Bernie. We're going to have to organize. We're going to have to knock on doors and phone bank for him. So we know what's at stake here. We know what we have to do. But let me just also tell you this. Really take a moment to reflect on this and soak it all in. Because under the Trump era, this has been hell for so many Americans. It's been a really dark time in America for a lot of us. So it's really nice to just see that there's a light at the end of the tunnel for the first time in years. It's really nice to feel optimistic again. It's really nice to know that we may actually have a future that isn't an apocalyptic hellscape. And that's all thanks to Bernie Sanders. So this is only the beginning, but needless to say, he's off to an amazing start. And I'm not surprised that he's off to an amazing start, but it's still just refreshing to see it in action. Bernie's back, and I couldn't be happier about that.
Girly Mike Fettuccine needs your support on Patreon. What a loser. Visit patreon.com/Humanist Report to support the low ratings Humanist Report. Sad. My views are much higher.